Alright, good day students. Welcome to another solution of some practice problems in your Math 1025 booklets. This is book 2, chapter 4, page 17, and it's about evaluating algebraic expressions when you're given a value to put in for it. So putting a value in and then finding the answer. Now, the key to these is putting a number or substituting a number improperly, and the safest way to use it is use parentheses or brackets, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now I've picked E and F on page 17 of number 2. Now we're told that A is 3.4 and B is negative 2.6. And we're asked to round our answers to one decimal place. So evaluate means to put a number in for something and get a final answer that is a number. So we see a coefficient of 4, we write that down first. Then anytime you're substituting for a variable, the safest way to do it always is a bracket. So out comes A, and in goes what A is equal to, which in this case is 3 decimal 4. Okay, minus 2 times B, and B is negative 2.6. Now, if you're asked to show your steps, then rather than shove it into the calculator at this point, you could further show this by doing the BEDMAS rules, right? Orders of operations. So you could do 3.4 squared. Now we jump over the calculator here. 3.4. We're going to square that and get 11.56 because we know we must do exponents first. Alright, and then we could do minus 2 times, that's a minus times a minus here, see that? So it's negative 2 times that, negative, so it's negative times negative, positive, 2 times 2.6. And again, if you don't know it in your head, you can jump over to your calculator. There it is, 5.2. And we know by BEDMAS rules now, we must do this next, right? Because this is multiplication, and then add the 5.2 at the end. For order of operations, adding, subtracting is always last. So now we're going to do 4 times 11.56 on the handy dandy calculator, and we get 46.24. We're going to add to that 5.2. So we go over and say add to that 5 decimal 2, and our answer is 51.44. Okay, so there's the answer to the first one. Now, I would always check these, and if this was a multiple choice, I wouldn't even I would put it right into my calculator using brackets. Now I'm going to type it in the calculator just like I have it here, exactly like I have it. Because the calculator is programmed with order of operations in mind, the BEDMAS rules. So therefore we say 4, open a bracket, 3.4, close your bracket, square it, minus 2, open bracket. So if you type it, now negative is down here, different than the minus sign. Negative right at the bottom button, minus is up here to your right, but the negative is a different button. And if you get an error, it's usually between you mixed up a minus sign with a negative sign, and then hit enter. So type it just like you see it. Alright, let's try the last one, or the second one there. And we have 6b, so 6, again, I'm going to use the method of opening a bracket when I substitute. Negative 2.6, close my bracket, plus 3, close bracket, a, which is 3.4, and we're going to cube that, plus 2 times negative 2.6 squared. Now we'll do it step by step in order of operations, and then we'll check it by calculator. So 6 times negative 2.6 is the very first thing I see. I can do that one. So that gives me, this piece here gives me, let me just change my pen, this here will give me negative 15.6. Now if I go to the next one, so it's plus 3, order of operations requires me to do this exponent next, right? So 3.4 and I'm going to cube that, so raised to the power of 3 and enter, which is 39.304 plus 2 times, now negative inside a bracket. That's why putting in brackets or parentheses is so important, because that negative 2.6 is in brackets. So bracket negative 2.6 close bracket squared is now going to turn into a positive. So anytime you have a negative inside a bracket, right, to a square outside, doesn't matter what this is, your answer is always positive. Negative inside a bracket to a 4, another even exponent, positive. Negative inside a bracket to a 6, also positive. So anytime you have negative, but it's contained inside the bracket and the exponent is outside like that, your answer will always be positive. Okay, so it's negative 2.6, which is 6.76. Now we can carry down to negative 15.6 because we're not going to do anything with that, so just rewrite it and don't be lazy. Write each step, and then you can do 3 times 39.304 next, and that's 117.912 plus 2 times 6.76. Let's see what that is. That's 13.52. Okay, and then we can add all of them in one step on our calculator because we got them all done now. Yep, we're good to go. So negative 15.6 plus 117.912 plus 13.52, and we're there at 115.832. Now 115.831. Okay, now if we do this on our calculator all in one step, let's see what we got. So again, remember to type it just like you see it with brackets. So I'm going to go back and put this step right in the calculator. Okay, let's clear our calculator there. So we have 6 open bracket, and this is the way you would do it. You wouldn't even do the rest of the work. You would jump right to this if you were doing this as a multiple choice question or trying just to complete an answer where you don't have to show your work. You would obviously do this right away. Alright, cubed, and then make sure you arrow out of the exponent position, plus 2, and then 6.76. Close your bracket, enter, and there you have it. Now it's 3.2, so I must have made an addition mistake down here, so I'll put it back to 2. Now double check your instructions. Notice I haven't left a question yet, but double check your instructions, because what happens frequently is we stop there and we forget. Always go back and read that last question, because when you're dealing with decimals it usually tells you. If it doesn't tell you, then we're okay. But look, round to 1 decimal place. So neither of the answers I have are correct. So we're rounding both of these to 1 decimal place. So I got to take the 4 off here, and that's number is less than, so it just drops. So 51.4 will be the correct answer here. And the next one would be, let's see, 1 decimal place, so I'm going to cut it here, and that would be, this is a 3, so we can just drop the 3 to 115.8. So there's the final 2 answers for E and F on page 17. That's it for now. Over and out.